All right, today we're going to dig into a really interesting partnership, one that could totally reshape the foundation of how big companies do their computing. We're talking about two absolute giants, IBM and Arm, teaming up. So let's dive right in.
Look, we all know AI is transforming just about everything. That's a given. But behind the curtain, there's a massive challenge brewing. You see, as AI stops being a cool experiment and becomes the very heart of a business, it puts this incredible, crushing pressure on the hardware that runs our world. And the big question is, can that foundation actually hold up?
And that really gets us to the core of the issue, right? AI's infrastructure problem. It's kind of the unseen challenge of this whole revolution. The AI future is here, but the gear it all runs on is being stretched to its absolute breaking point.
So picture this if you're a big company. You've spent decades, and I mean decades, building these super reliable, super secure systems. Now you're facing this awful choice. Do you throw all that investment away to jump on the new AI stuff, or do you play it safe, stick with what you've got, and risk getting completely left in the dust? It's a huge, painful trade-off, and frankly, nobody wants to make it. But what if you didn't have to choose? Well, not too long ago, two of the biggest names in technology announced that they're joining forces to solve this exact problem.
And this slide really shows you why this team-up makes so much sense. On one side, you've got IBM. They're like the fortress of enterprise computing. Think unmatched security, rock-solid reliability. Then on the other side, you have Arm, which is kind of like the central nervous system of the modern tech world. Super power efficient, incredibly flexible, and with this just massive software ecosystem. You put them together, it's a pretty perfect blend of strengths.
So what's the actual plan? How are they going to build this thing? Let's take a look at the blueprint.
Okay, so the core idea here is something they're calling dual architecture. The best way to think about it is like a hybrid car, right? Your car doesn't make you choose between gas or electric. It just uses the best tool for the job at any given moment, and it switches back and forth without you even noticing. That's exactly what IBM and Arm want to build for computing. One single platform that can handle any kind of job you throw at it, old or new, without making you compromise.
And they've laid out a pretty clear three-part plan to make it happen. Step 1. Virtualization. This is basically teaching IBM's ultra-secure systems to speak Arm's language. Step 2. Execution. This is about making sure that when those Arm apps are running, they meet the same bulletproof standards for security and reliability that big companies absolutely depend on. And finally, Step 3. Building a whole ecosystem around it, with shared tech that gives businesses way more choice than they've ever had before.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Because this partnership, it isn't just about a new chip or a new server. It's signaling a huge, fundamental shift in the entire enterprise technology market. You know, industry analyst Patrick Moorhead really nailed it with this quote. He points out that for years, it was all about raw speed and performance. But now, the game is changing. Now, things like flexibility, being able to move your work around, and having choices, they're becoming just as important. And it's hard to argue that this partnership isn't a giant leap in that direction. So what does this all boil down to for an actual business? Well, it means having way more options when it comes to software. It means not being trapped by a single company's ecosystem. It gives you a real path to building out your tech in a way that won't be totally obsolete in 5 years. And maybe most importantly, it makes it a whole lot easier to plug in those modern AI-powered applications.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and look at the global impact of this, because the ripples go way beyond just one company's data center. We're really talking about the future of enterprise, period.
For industries that have to be super careful, think banking, insurance, government, this is a game changer. These places live and breathe on IBM's secure mainframes. This deal means they could run the latest, modern ARM-based apps right inside those secure fortresses. That just tears down a massive barrier to innovation for them.
And there's another powerful force at play here, something called data sovereignty. More and more countries around the world are passing laws that say their citizens' data has to stay inside their borders. A flexible system like this, one that can be deployed anywhere, directly answers that growing geopolitical need.
Now, don't rush out to buy this tomorrow. The companies are being really clear that this is the beginning of a long road. It's a multi-year journey. Right now, they're deep in the weeds, developing and exploring, really just laying the foundation for this new platform. But here's the crucial takeaway. The thing to remember from all this, it's about the direction everything is heading. The future of the most important computer systems in the world isn't going to be about being locked into one company's way of doing things. It's going to be built on choice, on flexibility, and on different systems all playing nicely together. So that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to chew on. In this new world powered by AI, is the future of computing going to be built on bridges that connect things or on walls that keep them separate? It seems like this partnership is placing a very big bet on bridges.